Alright guys, this video is for my triangle people. So I'm going to show you two types of triangle that I've seen the most on what people are drawing. I've seen a lot of people that are drawing triangles along the bottom. And I've seen a lot of people drawing triangles to the side, which are both really great techniques. So the ones that are down here, I would call those horizontal triangles. The ones that are over here, I would call vertical triangles. These ones are very different to build, the ones that are kind of hanging on the sides, because you have a straight edge and you're kind of anchored onto one side. What you're going to do for this is you're going to decide how big you want your triangle to be, like how many rows you want it to go over of your warp. So if you want it to go 6, then that means that at some point it's got to be 6 rows big. What you need to do with triangles, whether you're doing the side vertical ones or the horizontal ones, is you have to build up height. If we just drop off a warp every time, or if we just go from, what I mean by dropping off a warp string is going from like 10 to 9 to 8 to 7 to 6 to 5 to 4 to 3 to 1, it's going to be flat, and it's actually going to be more like what the curved people are doing. What you need to do if you're building a triangle, because we're on such a small loom, only 20 string loom, is you need to build up at least 3 layers of each kind, which will end up looking just like 2 layers, but you'll see what I mean. So what I'm going to do in order to make a triangle is I'm just going to start with 1, okay? So I'm actually going to just, well, I don't only need to do it 2 more times since I already have the knot here. But I'm going to wrap the string around this one, but I'm going to make sure that everything's going vertical, is going up. Make sure my knot, I'll cut mine. If your knot is getting in the way like mine, just cut that little tail off. So what this is doing is this is creating the base of my triangle, okay? Now what I want to do is I want to start going under, over, and working my way out. So I want to do 3 rows of 2 warp strings, okay? So I already have this one under, so over. Seems pretty simple at first. The trickiest part with this is making sure that you're staying vertical. Okay, so I'm going to go, this is over, so I'm going to go under, over. And one more time, under, over. Again, making sure that my stitches stay actually separate. Like I want to make sure that I have this diagonal look that's happening here. See how I went from 1 stitch to 2 stitches and there's like this diagonal line? That's what I want to keep. So I did 1, 2, 3 of the 3 now, or of the 2. Now I'm going to do 3 rows of the 3. So I went over, so I need to do under, over. And then my second row of my 3 warp string triangle. It's important when you're doing this part to not pull your string too tight. It's going to warp your triangle if you're doing one of these side ones. Okay, so now I'm going to go on to my next string. I'm going to grab my next one since I did 3 rows of it. And the next one is over, and I'm going to do 3 rows of 4. Again, it's going to actually seem like it's 2 by the time you do it. Wait, it's kind of like 2.5, it feels like. You'll see what I mean when you start weaving. And look at how I'm starting to create this nice triangle edge here. Beautiful. So I'm going to do this 2 more times because I already did it once. So under, over, under, over. And keeping my triangles nice and flat. Wait, did I go? Yeah, over, under, over, under, over, under. Now this time, as you guess it, since I did 3 on the 4, now I'm going to do 3 on the 5. Under, over, under, over, under. Ah, I'm getting caught on my scissors. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm going gonna go to 6 this time. 6 is gonna be the last point in my triangle. So I wanna make sure that after I do the 6th point, I want to stop doing 6s. I don't want to do 3 6s. Whatever's the highest point at your your triangle is when you should stop going, because you want it to just be a very, very nice point at the top. So that's this under. Ta-da. So I have a nice edge now to make it an act. Now this is a triangle, it's a right triangle, but I'm sure it's not what a lot of you guys have drawn. Is I'm going to go back and I'm going to reduce my numbers again. I'm going to go 3 5s, 3 4s, and 3 3s and 3 2s. So let's under, over, under, over, under. Again, I don't want to go back to that 6. So that's 1 2. This time I'm going to do 4. Again, 3 times, just like I did at the bottom. You want to keep things, when you're working really geometrically like this, you want to keep things pretty symmetrical. Okay, now I'm going to go with 3s. It's pretty easy when it gets down lower. 2s get kind of tricky though, because you only have 2 strings to work with. You need to make sure not to pull them too tight, or make a knot like Miss Braun just did. Eek. I fixed it though. And then the last thing I'm going to do is, just like I did at the bottom, I'm going to tie my string around for the bottom of my triangle. I recommend doing it twice, just kind of gives it a final nice line. So that is how you do a triangle from the side. A lot of you guys have that design on the side. So again, this is called triangle from the side, or a vertical triangle. Remember, you're doing three rows until you move on to the next one, or in this case, until you take back to the next one. But I have a nice triangle that I can go back and add things to later. So, woohoo!